Welcome back, fiery people. Just wanted to do a follow-up on how I ended the last video of why handwriting sales copy isn't the best bet for most people, or just why it might not be. And I fully expected people to get super upset about it, which is weird to me. Just maybe try something else, and people are like, rah! Okay, that's fun. That sounds like a fun way to go through life. But the two main arguments or just perspectives that people give, and they're good perspectives, are the one that I mentioned at the end of the video, the cognitive benefits of handwriting. And there are some, and I said that, and I think they're great. If you're not doing anything else that stimulates those, it's probably good for you to do. Maybe. Or you can do what I suggested to get really good at copy, and you can do an additional things with your hands to get those cognitive benefits. It's not like, well, I'll kill two birds with one stone and I'll do it already in copy. Again, the input that you're putting in to get that, I don't think is out there. For example, there's simple things that you can be doing with your hands to stimulate that neural connection and those cognitive benefits, like brushing your teeth with your opposite hand, just journaling a little bit. I think you just journaling or writing, handwriting. So people are like, well, you're just saying handwriting. Yeah, I am saying you can handwrite. That's not the problem that I have. It's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that specifically handwriting sales copy takes a long time. I went through all those points, and there's still I acknowledge the benefits of handwriting. I think they're great. I think you can get more benefits from doing your copy practice than you doing your handwriting practice in another way. Actually maybe your reflection, you journaling on some level, you writing down goals. I don't want to say goals because you're just listing the same things off. I don't think there's much benefit in there. There's some, but I would say more reflection and thinking through things and processing how you view the world and how you think of, or your goals and what you want to do and problems and solving those things and working through emotional things, whatever. I think there's bigger benefit in using your handwriting for those sorts of things because they are all super important for being a well-rounded person, and you're gonna get more bang for your buck separating them and not actually combining them. Hoping that makes sense. And then the other point that a lot of people make, which is a great point, and I love it. Here's a sales page. Look at all these people. They're really good at writing copy. I'm I know. They are really good. I'm friends with 90% of them. And probably more. Someone sent me the sales page. I'm oh, good friends with him. Good friends with him. Go to events. We stay together all the time. With a bunch of these people, right? And I'm not saying it's bad. I've handwritten sales copy. What I'm saying is, and I made the points, depending on where you're at, it might not be the best thing to do right now. Can you still buy the course and get value out of it? Abso-freaking-lutely. I think the swipe file alone and the breakdowns, again, going back to my points, those are the things that I think make the biggest difference. So is it worth it to do that? Yeah. If you just go for that. And the other thing that, if you need a challenge of handwriting, it is a challenge, and for 90 days, that's 90 hours. 1 hour a day, 90 days, 90 hours of doing anything, you will get significantly better. Even if you do something completely and utterly stupid. Not saying that's what hand copying is. I'm saying if you just the worst practice you can think of and you did it, you're going to get better doing something for 90 hours. You're going to stumble on some stuff. even if it's the majority repetition and not much stress signal to like actually improve, you're gonna somehow stumble on stress signal in there and like just get better for the sake of like for all that time you put into it. So I think that's where like the biggest benefits are. There's a structure, there's 90 days, do this for 90 days, putting great copy there. They're already picking the good copy for you, saying this is good, now go through it. Now the people, I would argue the people who get the best results are the ones who write with intention, and they're paying attention, and they're doing the things that I mentioned about like breaking things down and looking at it and then applying it. They're doing that. But a lot of people I talk to, they don't. So and they probably go through all this stuff in the course. Like I know Derek is very smart. And like I said, I know a lot of people in there, a bunch of people who like coached in there. I'm not saying it's there's other ways. You can even do the points that I made with it, but it's again like where the problem becomes when people say, when people are stressed because they don't have a lot of time and they're like, oh, fucking gotta do this, gotta handwrite. Like you're not getting the benefits you think you're getting because you're in that state, and then you're forcing yourself to do it. And then do you think you're gonna do it for 90 days? Maybe. You like if you can like really will yourself to do it and like struggle and grind through it. Struggle and grind isn't the way you're gonna learn the best. So there's just other ways to just kind of consider in there. I don't know because I had to reshoot this. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this, but like the penmanship practice we're obviously getting, right? Where this points out, I don't think I mentioned this in this video. Hopefully I didn't. This would be dumb if I'm just redoing it again. Maybe I need to handwrite more stuff. Maybe I should have handwritten this. So the argument for, or like, not argument, like, well, it is an argument. The proof for writing is there. Like there's cognitive and mental benefits of doing that. The bigger ones they say, like, in this book and even in general, it's especially in cursive and especially with your non-dominant hand. So you using both hands is that in itself of getting a lot of benefit. You, especially writing in cursive, is another benefit. I really don't think many people are doing it in cursive. I don't know if that's like a recommendation. I know at some point this was separate from when I actually did it initially. Like I'm going to hand copy stuff because I know like this is what I'm supposed to do. This was at the beginning. And then a couple years ago when I taught myself how to write in cursive with my non-dominant hand, they're like here and there, but I'll just like, all right, I'm just going to write some copy. And that was like on and off. And I was just like, I just did it that way. But it was very intentional about it, kind of bringing in the principles that I mentioned before of like, it was more like breaking things down and like, all right, I'm just going to, here are really good, I don't remember if I did them with like subject lines or headlines. It's one of those, but I was going through a block of what I mentioned before is like intentionally picking a specific skill that you want to develop. So in that case, it was like laser focused, chunk down to, again, I don't remember, headlines or subject lines. It was like, that's the thing. It's not like copy. It's like headline, subject lines. And then I was writing those. And that was also more, it wasn't like, hey, let's hand copy. It was like, let me practice my writing. Because that was practice I was doing anyway. And it was more like, let me practice writing with my non-dominant hand. So using both hands, and you can use that for sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm getting hit with messages. You can do that with other things. You can use your opposite hand with your fork and your knife, like switch those hands. You can learn how to juggle, open doors with the other hand, brush your teeth with the other hand. A lot easier if you have an electric toothbrush, pro tip. Then we look at like some of these other things. So all in all, like I think it's, let's look at the benefits. So again, this is specific to writing. Or sorry, we looked at those benefits. Well, if not, you can see them. But let's look at how to practice penmanship, right? So if we're saying penmanship, because penmanship improves this, and this. Let's look at like the practice recommendations for it. Dedicated time. Okay, cool. We got that. Cursive. We probably don't have that. Writing both hands. Probably don't have that. Copying text. Yep, we're copying text. Writing letters or journals. No, but that's a way, like I said, it's kind of like you can do either one. And again, I'm not going to argue. I'm going to ask that you consider, will you get more benefit from journaling and self-reflecting, any of that stuff, with your handwriting or your sales copy? Work on specific penmanship exercises. No one's tracing letters. No one's practicing different fonts. No one's focusing on connections. It's like, it's chicken scratch. I've seen it. I've seen it. Maybe there's some people who are doing it this way, and these are the people that are going to get the best benefit because they're the things that I mentioned most people not doing, the people who get the most benefit are doing. So if you want to do it, great. And if you want to do it with those factors, you are intentional, you are focused, you are breaking it down, you're thinking. You're not only writing it, you're seeing it in a bigger picture. You're probably reading it before, then you're writing it. You're looking at what they're doing, you're dissecting it, then you're trying to apply it. It will crush. It will also take you a lot of time. So if you don't have time, you're going to need an alternative. I gave you an alternative. If you have the time, great, do it. And send me your book. No, don't send me your book. I don't want your book. Yeah, and quality tools, not really relevant. So and I hope this just gave a little bit more perspective or like some thought on some of the things I mentioned. And I know some people just like will not even be open to the idea of it, and that's fine. Not really talking to you if you don't consider other perspectives and like there potentially could be a better way of doing something, or just a more efficient way, or a better way for you, versus only saying this is what this guru told me or this person told me and I'm going to do it that way, because you can totally do it. I think I gave reasons for both, and I hope whatever way you choose, you just keep doing it, and you take maybe some of the lessons of the skill sharpening stuff that I mentioned before and apply them, whether you do it the hand copying way or the other way, and you get good and you get really good and you keep getting good, and then you keep stacking skills, and then you just learn more skills, and then these skills compound on each other, and then you're just a savage, and then you're crushing. That's it. That's all I got for you. Let me know if you want your thoughts. Talk soon.